This time on The Restorers. Automata artisans Michael and Maria work their magic on a circus performer.
He's taken this silicone very well.
Yes!
Based in Forres, one of Scotland's oldest towns, husband and wife team Michael and Maria Stars have been restoring automata for over 30 years. Today they've travelled to North Wales to meet antique dealer Drew Pritchard, who's found something that needs their expertise.
They are fast becoming one of my favourite things to restore. These automaton are something that I find fascinating because they're still amazing today. Even in derelict condition, they're still amazing things. Hello.
Hi, Drew.
How are you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Right,
Hi,
got something
Drew.
here for you.
Oh,
Wow. So tell me all about it then. So I know nothing about this.
it's a circus performer, and we know this model, and this ladder wobbles to and fro with clockwork driving it. Music plays.
Yeah.
Maybe want to catch the head, Maria.
The head, okay.
Oh, there we go, there
Let's
goes the
lose
head.
the head.
So now, look at that, that's amazing. He's gone completely upside down. But that's not the end of the clockwork performance.
Right.
Because when he's like this, the ladder wobbles and he goes like that.
Wow. Does it really?
3 times he should do that. All to music, and now he's back down there and everybody just wants more.
The 19th century was a prolific period for automata. Many makers sprung up in Paris, creating magical pieces that gave the illusion of characters acting by their own power. Skilled artisans built the movements using a series of complex mechanical parts hidden in the base or body. Popular subjects included well-known theatre and circus performers whose entertaining tricks challenged the maker's skills to the limit.
It will get a real wow when it's done.
Yeah.
It's just an awful lot to do. You need a head, a new one. You need a full suit of clothes.
And then when we get inside to the heart of it, this mechanism is going to need a lot of work.
We'll have everything you've got on that one, please.
Okay.
All of the work.
Got a week to do it?
You can have nearly a whole week.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
Fine. All right, all yours.
Okay.
Take her away.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
No wonderful automatons ever fit for the bin, but my goodness, this one's lifted the lid. You know, we've got a lot of work to do.
Am I confident I can bring it back to what Drew has in his mind? Yeah.
With the Acrobat back in Scotland, it's poised for preservation. Michael begins by stripping down the mechanism. The movement of the Acrobat is controlled by a series of cams.
That's it, free.
Each individual one is designed to produce a specific motion.
And here we have, if I can get this free, should just be able to pull this off. The cams are these profile discs, and it's like the brain of the mechanism. The whole performance is here in this palm of my hand. So each lump and bump will be a lift of the head or a swing up of the legs. It's all encoded into that. So that's marvellous.
Michael has discovered what's keeping the Acrobat grounded. A small arm has buckled and needs to be replaced.
So we've got this big ladder with the Acrobat standing on it, and the whole thing has to wobble to and fro. And it all comes from this one little lever on the cam. Now, this one little lever is a relatively new replacement, and it's completely failed. I'm going to make a new one in the correct style, the correct method, so our ladder can wobble again.
Referring to a sketch of an original lever as a guide, Michael uses a scribe to scratch the exact measurements on a new piece of brass. He then marks where the holes will go with a punch.
39.73 millimetres long.
If they're a fraction of a millimetre out, the show won't go on.
This needs to be precision engineering because all the dimensions relate to movements of the automaton. A small movement of 2 or 3 millimetres at the mechanism can correspond to a movement of maybe 20 centimetres at the automaton. So that's a huge magnification. So just a fraction of a millimetre makes a big difference.
After cutting the brass to size, Michael bores 4 precise holes.
That's good. There, very close indeed. And then rivet it together and we'll have our new follower. Excellent. So that's pretty much it. I'm very pleased with that.
In Scotland, Automata restorers Michael and Maria are trying to put the moves back into Drew's Victorian Acrobat. Maria has found some images of how it would have looked originally, and she's starting from scratch, sculpting a new head from clay.
The tricky part at this stage is to make it look remotely like a head. It really doesn't look anything at all, but it is with time and features and just a little nick here and a little bit taken out there, and it'll start to take its appearance. I think he needs a bit of hair, doesn't he? Otherwise he is going to look like Drew. I love sculpting because you can just go in on yourself and, well, you're forming something from nothing, from a lump of mud. Time to stop.
Stop now, that's really good.
Put the tools down.
Yep.
You sure?
Yep, he's ready to cast.
Whew. Okay.
Brilliant. Well done.
In Scotland, Maria is bringing her Acrobat back to life. She's made a new head from clay and now needs to cast it in a silicone mould.
So I'm going to paint it on really carefully for the first coat. And then once that's on, I can start slapping it on a bit. I have to be really careful not to push too hard because the clay will just break up. It will just sort of melt underneath. You can see there how the clay's mixed in with the silicone because I did go in a little bit hard. I'm going to be really careful with the features on his face. He's taking this silicone very well, not grumbling at all.
After a few hours, the mould is set, and Maria can now add a plaster mix to form the new head.
This is the face. This is what people are going to see. So it's really important to get that first layer really nice and close to the mould. I don't want to miss any bits. I don't want any air bubbles. So I'm going to do one layer of plaster and then I'm going to start laying on the bandage. For rigidity, we're going to have this bandage that's from the chemist. This will give it strength because the plaster cast is quite brittle, and this will really help to make it strong and last for years and years. Paint it in there. I'm pushing it into all the features. So we've got a nicely reinforced plaster cast there. And of course we won't know until tomorrow when we demould it whether it's come out okay or not. Let's see if we manage to get a nose and some proper features in there.
After 24 hours, Maria can see if Drew's Acrobat has got the perfect facelift.
We've reached the exciting moment of truth when I'm going to see if one, the cast comes out of the mould, and two, if it's good enough, if it's the right size, and if it looks good enough for the Acrobat to wear on his shoulders. And there he is. Yes! He worked. He looks great. I'm really pleased. He looks good. Feels really strong and durable. Whoa, and there's a lot of detail. He's good, isn't he? I really tried to get that smile. I really wanted him to be a happy acrobat.
Yeah. And it looks about the right size too.
I think so.
Most important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Excellent. Well done.
Acrobat.
Okay, yeah. Maria, could you pass me the carpet? Okay.
In Forres, North Scotland, Michael and Maria are carrying out their final rehearsals for the comeback show of Drew Pritchard's Acrobat.
Okay, yeah. Lean the ladder forward, 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 forward. Any more? And back. And let go. He's staying. He's staying. Good, good.
Before he's ready for the spotlight, Maria adds the final touches to his makeup.
So in 1890 or so, there will have been an acrobat that does the trick that he's going to do on his ladder with exactly that face paint, with the beetle on his forehead and the 2 dots on his face. I'm going to do his eyeliner just to give him a bit of definition because he looks really pasty like this. So I'm just going to put some eyeliner on. You can sponge the colours together and blend them really nicely. And take them off if you make a mistake, which is always handy. I think he's looking quite good. And I must not go too far. I must know when to stop. Always a bit of a problem.
The last job is to add some show-stopping detail to his satin costume.
Our acrobat is going to wear an amazing suit of satin that is beaded. This is what the original acrobat would have had before he lost his clothes.
Maria has sourced antique beads from an old braid for added authenticity.
Because this acrobat is worth it, it really needs a good restoration. I want to do the most beautiful suit that I possibly can. Will Drew appreciate it? Yeah, I think so.
When Drew first handed the 100-year-old Acrobat Automata to Michael and Maria, it was tired, worn out and in pieces. Now, after many hours of painstaking work, it's back in Conwy, ready for its comeback performance.
The guys have let us into Drew's shop and we're going to set up the ladder acrobat ready so that he can walk in and see it in all its glory.
We want it to be just right for the moment he sees it.
Wow, that's fabulous. Yeah. Well, what can I say? You better talk me through this one, guys, because it doesn't look anything like the thing I gave you. I'm struggling to remember what was left of it.
Not a lot.
When Michael and Maria first set eyes on the Acrobat, it was more horror show than circus act. The head was loose and hands were missing. There was no costume, and the mechanism had left the performer paralysed. Now he's sprung back to life, with a restored head, vibrant clothes, and a hand-painted face straight out of the Parisian circus. He's ready to entertain the crowds once again.
Why has he got all beetles all over him and bugs?
That is what the original acrobat would have had. They wouldn't have made up this face paint. They would have copied it from the original acrobat.
Well, I'd love to see it working. This is always the bit that makes me nervous because I just think, please don't break.
Mm-hmm.
Makes you nervous, Drew. I'm really nervous here. Okay, Maria, are you going to pull the button?
Go on, mate.
You can do it.
Go on. Go on. Keep going, keep going. Watch that now.
Yes.
That's just so realistic.
Tension.
That's the bit. That's the bit that gets you. Oh my God.
Oh.
That is magic. Imagine that 100+ years ago. No computers, no TV, You don't have any of this visual stimulation, and then all of a sudden this thing arrives in your life. It is magical. It started as a couple of £1,000 odd. What's it cost and what's it worth?
It's taken 120 hours with the sequins and the beading, 180.
180 hours.
A lot of hours.
Right.
So it's about £10,000 of work gone into this.
Right.
But your
Hopefully it's a big but now.
the starting price would be 15,000. So yeah, if
We're in a
you're,
good place.
you're in a nice London fair, you maybe 22.5 you'd ask.
Why not? You know, find another one. It's one of those, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's why whenever I sell something really expensive, I always have like a pang. I go, It's not the money. It's not the money. It's like, now I've got to find another one. And that's the hard bit. Anyway, look, well, thank you very much.
Thank you,
guys.
Drew.
Leave it with us.
Yeah.
Much appreciated. Beautiful work as ever.
Thank you, Drew.
All right. Cheers. Thanks. Bye-bye.
It's one of the top of the range pieces from 19th century Paris. It's top of our game to be able to work on this. So we're working at the limits of our skill levels here, and that's thrilling.
I want the new owner to have a party just to show off his Acrobat or her Acrobat.